Right. Okay, so welcome back this week with the help of Sensei Kerry, and I'm sure Simon will be making a guest appearance later on. Yeah, we're doing Seishan today. So don't forget, really, in my opinion, you should be doing Naihanchi as the basic form, and then Seishan. They go as a pair because you can't really do Seishan without understanding the stances for Naihanchi. So please practice Naihanchi and Seishan, not just one or the other, but make sure you combine the two. Try and make sure you do two of them, all right? So yeah, let's see where it takes it. And also don't forget, and I'll say it on everything that we do, if your instructor doesn't like this, then not a problem. Make sure that you adhere to what they say. But enjoy. Wish. Seishan. Hey! Hey! The start of any kata is it's always a little bit difficult, especially Seishan. So when you first start, then obviously remember what you learned from Naihanchi. So on this one, you either push the right heel out or both heels out. When you're starting, it's easier to take both heels out. After all, if you look at some of the Chinese martial arts, when they take their stance, you know, they 1, 2, 3, 4, they push their heels out and take the stance, so it's bum, 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 bum. Yeah, so another advantage of it is the knees are pointing in, as per Naihanchi, if you look back at the Naihanchi kata, and your knee needs to cover your groin. So when you sink, I'll do this sideways. When you sink, as you move in, you move your hip forward and your knees bend. And you'll know when you've done enough because you lock up. What that effectively has done has brought your knees closer together to do the step through. So you really need to take your body weight forward and drop in the knees. So if you look at my knees now, from the stance, as I start to move forward, and I'm doing it slowly, you bring the knees in as your hip is going down and forward. So that has actually closed up the area. So you haven't got to do a big movement with your foot to do a covering of the groin. Yeah, which makes you then your body starts going to the one side. I'm exaggerating. Your body goes to the one side and then the other. So reduce that. On every stance you take, drop. The knees are closing together. So therefore this foot movement is quite controllable, quite small. So if you get used to the start of it, it's not only for the start, but the majority of the way through it, especially for the 2/3 of the way. And then obviously you then start using tate seishan. So remember, from the start, either push the one heel out or both, and then take the stance. And then that sets you up. That's the most difficult part that people find when they're first starting to learn seishan. So that's a little bit of a prompt for you. So also the arm movements when you come across. Make sure they're both facing down because you want to be using your wrists. If they come up and anyway, then you can't use your wrists. So here, and let your body. And then when you come to do the uke, then use your chest. Not big, not a big expansion, but just enough. Also, when you come out, try and keep your elbow pulled in. Yeah, I'll go through that with a partner after. But here. And point this one down. So then you punch lower down. Again, the explanation will be in with a bit of partner work later in the tutorial. So here, and down. And don't turn the wrist until the last. If you start turning the wrist early, your elbow flicks out. After all the punches, punch. No. So keep your elbows in. So, using a partner, practice dropping your weight, getting your knees in, get a good stance, and cover, and punch down. So if Sensei Keri's going to attack, once he's going to attack, and punch down. So, bearing in mind this is an Okinawan kata, then they use their hands multiple times, not just soto-uke or gaiwan-uke, but they'll also use this other hand. So slowly, this is the uke, then clear. That's why you don't punch chudan, you punch down into there. So if you do it a little bit more, 1, 2. So now we're going to carry on from here. We'll be going forward and doing naiwanuke. So we've already done lunging and 1, 2 punch. Now we're going to go forward. As we go forward, we do the gaiwanuke. Yeah? Punch again. So if you can keep your elbows in, else you end up trapping the arm. So there's if you do this and do this, there's a small area inside, and that's where your elbow needs to come back. You hardly see it. Elbow comes across, and the ukes are done from the shoulder, not from the elbow. It's a rotation from here. So when you do your ukes, not just gaiwanuke, not just, yeah, but make sure it travels back to this safety zone and then come back out. Wish.